I was 16 and I was in a long-term relationship in high school. Not that long-term. And it was a pretty bad situation. It was something that had been continuously spiraling downward. He was in a lot of trouble, and we eventually broke up. And a few months after we broke up, I was feeling funny. It was around the time I was getting ready for prom, and my prom dress looked a little bit funny on me. Ended up going to the doctor with my mom, and I found out that I was 5 months pregnant. I was completely devastated. I wasn't expecting it. Thankfully, my mother was there to catch me before I fell to the floor. I was too young to really understand what I was going to do next. My mother had attended Abilene Christian University as a social work major and knew about Christian Homes and Family Services. And so she knew what kind of services they could offer me, a kind of protection from the situation back home. So a week later, after finding out, on my 17th birthday, I emancipated from my family and I moved down south to Abilene, Texas to begin the adoption process. Before I went, I was really scared. I didn't know what to expect. All I knew is that adoption was going to be the right thing for me. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know what it would really mean for me in the future. I was just young and in need of a solution. And Christian Homes was there to welcome me with open arms and help me through that process. They really took care of me, which is something that I needed, being so young. I was very fortunate when I got the profiles because I was able to provide a lot of medical history on my family and from what I knew on his. I read every single word and looked at every single picture on those profiles, and I was looking for connections. I was looking for a bond that I could find with them, any similarities and interests or dates. I know that the parents that I picked, they provided a few dates that were significant to them, and I could look at those dates and remember what I was doing on that date, and it just reminded me and showed me how much God was working in both of us. I called my caseworker and we set up a match meeting to meet with each other the following week, and I was really nervous. I thought they would think I was gross. I thought that they, I don't know, might be worried for some reason about my appearance, and so I was nervous, and after talking to them, they were really nervous too. But it went really well. I thought that Becca was going to have to give us stuff to talk about or just kind of nudge us, but she never did. We just completely clicked from the very beginning and covered everything. We talked about what kind of life she would have, whether or not she would be in daycare, or what her name would be. We talked about everything, and by the end of it, I was really comforted, and they were really confident in my following through with the adoption. Once we matched, during our match meeting, we discussed how much contact we would have up until the birth, and that was something I brought up because I knew that because I had found out that I was pregnant so late in my pregnancy, and there was such a short window of time that I didn't know what to do. I pretty much immediately knew that I was going to be an adoptive mother. And so in a way I could think of myself as a surrogate mother to her. And so before I met her, I'd been pestering them, please let me match, let me have some profiles, let me go ahead and match, because I wanted to be able to give her that full experience. I wanted her to come to all the appointments, the sonograms. I wanted her to feel my stomach. I wanted her to feel like she was the one who was pregnant, and I was her friend standing close by her, while it hurt and while it was uncomfortable. We kept in close contact beforehand. They were really clear with me about the kind of relationship that they wanted to have. Everyone was there to be a part of this because they were all so excited for them to finally be having a baby. After she was born, they sent me pictures as soon as she got home, and they didn't send pictures every day, which was probably a good thing in that healing process of being separated. And once a month, they would send me an update on every milestone she had hit, and pictures, family pictures, professional photography, stuff that they did. And by month 6, that had kind of cut off, and we just started texting like normal. There's a lot of things I want her to know. I want her to know that I'm an adventurous spirit, but that by no means means that I will leave her, forget that adventure I went on with her. I want her to know I love her. I want her to know I don't regret my decision. I am so proud of the family she's getting to grow up in. I hope she knows that I've put my faith entirely in God to take care of her through this. Amidst the relinquishing of my rights, He was there holding her close and keeping her with parents, real parents. Other women who are already considering adoption, Christian Homes is a great option because they take care of you. You've got free housing. They're helping you get on Medicaid. They're taking you to your doctor's appointments and making sure that you are spiritually and physically taken care for. They provide counseling all the way through it. If you need someone to talk to you, they're there to make sure that you're making the right decision. It's not that you get there and they immediately assume you're 100% on adoption. You actually have to go through a program that helps you realize this is a good choice for me, or this isn't a good choice for me. And adoption isn't for everyone. I know a lot of women who have chosen adoption and have regretted it every day since. But for a lot of women, it's a beautiful second chance. It's a breaking of a cycle. And Christian Homes is a loving of their birth mothers and appreciative of their birth mothers. And it's an honor to be a birth mother through Christian Homes.